have a vision, you have a mission.
A complete mission.
Tell us more about this.
The mission is that often miscommunication is caused by bad pronunciation.
I can confirm.
And you know,
the office, you know, here we have different languages, and yeah, definitely.
But I understand why. Because you see, if we're talking about everyone, we talk with the Filipino people first. You know, I understand the background because, you see, in 1521, when you were first occupied, when the Spanish colonized, you learned the Alpha Roman alphabet, the ABC. And 333 years later, that's what you had. Then, in 1898, the Americans came and colonized then. And then you got the Alpha Roman alphabet plus now English. That's why you're the only nation that can do the L and the R in Asia. And for the ones that for the ones that were not Filipino, that's a fact. The Filipino people are the only nation in Asia that actually have the L and the R, which means that they have the center of speech. That's why outsourcing communications is here. But the F?
What about the F? Like
the P,
Fabrice.
the V, and the B, and the S, H, and the C, H, and the hard D, hard D, hard B, hard B. Then you have the NG, ST, TH. These are the pronunciation issues that can cause communication dropouts, communication errors. Now, les Français, ils ont tous un autre problème. Mais quoi?
Let's get into the French problem.
No, but the interesting thing is...
The H is what?
The TH.
TH.
Yes, but the issue, the interesting issue is, in Europe, of course, the French language is très romantique. Very romantic, very cool. Everybody wants to speak French, even me. But when you come to the Philippines, now you have people who are sorting through their pronunciation issues, and then the French have the combination. So now there are two things going on: pronunciation, clear speech. Communicating your feelings, getting your feelings back. They need to bounce and balance. It's like a checkbook. They need to be balanced in and balanced out. Because you want people to believe in your system. You want people to believe in who you are. English is, listen, I didn't invent the language, so don't blame me. English is just the language of business and international commerce. It doesn't mean I love it more than any other language. It just is. This shirt is pink. I didn't invent it. It is pink because it is pink.
Good choice.
So I don't argue.
For the Friday, you know, we have here in the office, we have the Friday pink day.
No.
Wellness.
I know. So what we have here is the desire to communicate. Clarity builds power. When you can say to somebody, I mean, let me give you an example. This is the power of pronunciation. Now, watch me. Watch my mouth, please. Really pay attention to my mouth. If you're watching carefully, I'm now going to turn the volume down very slowly. So when I turn the volume down very slowly, you should understand.
True.
Can you still understand?
Yes.
Can you then? And some people laughed, therefore you understood. So the point is, you read my lips, therefore it proves that clear speech is communication. Because I communicated with you with no volume. That is obviously clear communication. Now we're in this country. the Philippines, the center of communication for Asia now. The center. So we've got to take our game up to the next level. And then take our game up to the next level. Because your merit and your credit is how well you speak. How well you speak tells people how intelligent you are. How well you speak, you know, it's a stereotype. We know that that's not necessarily true because we know intelligence is in here. But we're talking about people. When you speak well, people imagine you are intelligent. When you speak well, you can convince people. You're selling. We're all selling. We're selling something. When you speak well, may I interest you in this absolutely wonderful concept. This concept is great for you. It's imperative to your well-being. Or, can I interest you in something that's really good for you, it'll help me. It'll really make us feel good and you feel like well-being is very good. Now, which one are you going to buy from? There you are. That's it. That's the power of speech.
Very strong.
People take it for granted, but we can't anymore. Because English is the language of business and money and commerce. And these people know call centers. Oh, okay.
But you know, English is also the language of traveling,
Yes.
of enjoying, because music, because of entertainment, movies. So it's really
Yes.
the language of wellness, no?
It is a language, you know what, if it's the vehicle of wellness, how about that? It's the vehicle of wellness, because you can put words upon that vehicle and transport it to anyone. Take the words, put them onto something and send it down there. People can pick it up and read it and understand it. And that's why I love language so much. I've traveled to 60 countries of the world, 60 countries, 60. And in that 60 countries, the one thing I have recognized is, if I speak slowly, clearly, and don't use too many big words, I can communicate with absolutely anybody. And then when I listen to them speak to me in their language, I watch their lips. And then I can understand what they're saying, or I can learn some words. Sige? Sige, sige. And I can say, walang alamang. Because I listen and I listen and I listen. When I listen, I can pick up the words. And I think, that's cool. But let's learn some real Filipino now, right? Let's learn some real Filipino. You've got to point, it's your mouth. Because you see, it's Jamaican. It's very, very Jamaican. My family's from Jamaica, and it's very Filipino. So we're going to talk about that guy over there, right? So the first thing is, you don't look. You have to... you don't look at him, you go... And that's... When I first saw that, I thought, are there Jamaicans in the Philippines? I'd like to take a few seconds, just a few moments, just to talk about a system of communication. When I said, it's really easy when you know how. Now, first thing I will say is, what I'm going to show is not designed to insult anybody. I do not assume how well or how little you speak English. I don't put that together and say, I'm here to teach you all. That's not my game. That's not my mission. It's called, here are tools to improve communication. So, the secret to great speech. It's a study guide for clear speech and great pronunciation. Now, just over the top, it says, it's easy when you know how. I can explain that myself anyway, because it's all about location, location, location.
Location.
You know, I was thinking there was one missing. I knew there was something. You fulfilled me, sir. And what I talk about is, if you put a name to everything, then you add power to it. When you put names to things, you add specifics to it. When you put names to things, you remove mystery. So let's just begin anyway. We know these things, but you know what? It's funny how when we know something, that's what we don't do. The upper lip. the lower lip. The upper teeth, the lower teeth. And you say, well, I know that. But when I ask some people, let's say 35 feet. Now, a person from Visayas or Mindanao, how would they say 35 feet? How would they say 35 feet?
Who is from the Visayas?
Or, you know, everyone's shy now, so I'll take the joke and you can laugh at me, okay? 35 feet. Feet. Now, the F and the P, B, and then the tongue does not disengage, so therefore you don't get the feet. So the tongue, in Tagalog English, in Tagalog, the tongue ends sounds. The tongue doesn't disengage, the tongue ends sounds. That's where you get feet, feet, feet. Now, if I was to say, the top lip stays up, the front teeth touches the bottom lip, and you aspire, let the air out, you get feet, feet, because you do this. Now the thing is, at first it looks strange, but if you want to correct your speech,
It does, yeah.
exaggerate, separate, identify the difference. Then, when you say 35 feet, you feel it. And when you feel it, you remember it. If you are saying there is, over the rainbow, the birds sing a little song. Over the rainbow. Now for French people, that's going to be interesting. Over the rainbow, huh? The rainbow. The rainbow. See, it's not just Filipino in here. You got French too. So we're all together here. Everyone's in this together. So, the. It feels strange. The reason is, for Filipino people, the speed of Tagalog doesn't actually give you time to 11:55. When you exaggerate the 11, F, V, P, B, F, V, P, B, the. When you exaggerate these sounds, you get used to the sounds. That way, even when I turn around, you can still understand every single word that I'm saying. If I say F, V, B, V, F, B, V, B. Because if you sound the word with the correct pronunciation and mouth shape, then the sound projects. Now here is why it's important. Hello sir, I'd like to, if you have 5 minutes, I could tell you a little about our new program of well-being, of health and fitness and spiritual well-being. In other words, your business. In other words, your business. Who speaks on the phone for you is you. Whoever's on the phone on your business is you. They are just different versions of you. So when they speak for the company because they are the company, and they speak for the man who founded the company. So if pronunciation and speech is not well delivered, it reflects all the way back up to the top and all the way back down again. Success is confidence. Confidence in speech is what makes people believe you. Confidence in the way that you deliver your speech is the way people believe you. You're calling someone that you've never spoken to before. You're dealing with people you haven't met before. All you have is your calling card. Your calling card isn't this piece of paper you pull out of your pocket. Your calling card is right here. This is your calling card. Hello. My name is Ashley Ingram. And people say that I'm the master of Asian speech. Well, I work hard for it. I work hard for it, and that's what I'm showing you. The power of speech. Understanding the mouth, the lips, the tongue. Now, this is where French people can get the idea as well. The tongue, 4 places. T1, the tip. L. I'll show you more about that. That's where the L is formed. The middle, that's where the N, or the disengaged is formed. The arch is where the R is formed. Not the tip of the tongue curling up. Many people think to get the R correct, you've got to curl your tongue. Actually, if you were to do what I have done, is stick a microphone in someone's mouth, a camera in someone's mouth, you will see that the whole tongue comes up. So when you think the tongue is curling up, it's not, the whole tongue is lifting. Because the third section here stands the highest up in the upper hard palate. I'll show you that in a little while. But that's where the R is formed. Air. And of course, the rolling tongue, the tip can come up and roll against the front, but we'll talk about that separately. The T4. Someone said to me today, I don't know there's a T4. He's at the back. And I said, the CK, is the T4.
You mean he's on the left?
I didn't say who it was. I won't say who it is. And the eyes, yes? So it's like, it's over there, but don't say anything. You know that one. She's over there, but don't say anything. So tell me you don't have an auntie that does that. Or I think this lady does it herself. She looks too guilty. Okay, let's move on. And then we have here, the upper palate or the upper mouth. This tip here, that little button, right here. So when you put the tip of your tongue against that, you form a perfect L. When you put the T2 against here on your tongue, that's where your N is. Or your D. Let go, D. When you put your third part of the tongue arching up, you get the R. And then at the back here, between the 2 points here, now this is interesting because I put the T5, the M5 here for Filipino people specially. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Because if we say K, as in K, O, K, K, T4 of the tongue, which is the fourth part of the tongue, touches M4 here. But with the Filipino people, some areas, have you heard this sound? Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. Of course you heard it. You know, I hear it. I thought, when I first, I was like, what was that? Okay. Okay. Now that is actually the T4 of your tongue touching the uvula. That's the part that does that at the back of your throat. Alright. That's the part. Now the point is, when you know the geography of the mouth, when you know the geography of the mouth, then you can do something about it. Do you remember? It's easy when you know how. Now that you know that, when you look at sounds, okay. When you start to look at associations, F, as I said, the mouth comes up, F. Below, V, F and V. It's like F backwards, V forwards, F, V. Same thing, really. P, B. P, B. The P, of course, when you hear a microphone and someone goes, P, P, P. There's air, B, B, no air, no air, B, P, P, air, B, no air. That's the difference between P and B. And then we start to understand, here is the foundations of speech. So, as I was talking about looking at the L, the tongue touches right there, tip 1, L, lullaby. Lullaby. I like. Now here's the point. It's really interesting, especially for women. When women have great pronunciation, it makes all women more beautiful automatically. Automatically. It's automatic. You were beautiful before, but the minute you speak well, even more beautiful. You all sound like Lady Diana Spencer. You all sound like some English queen. Oh, hello, how are you? Oh, I really enjoy being here tonight. Looks good on men. Not quite the same though, not with the pink and that accent. No, just, je plaisante quand même, hein? Je plaisante. No, but with men, it's elegance again, but high communication. Yes, I completely understand what you are saying. But however, I have a different argument to pose to you. The power of speech, the power of English, used with your mouth, projects to who you want it to go to the soul, to the head, to the thinking areas of the brain, because you're selling something good. That's why, when I first met Jean, so much better, John. When I met John was alright, you know, nice guy, yeah. Oh, John, how are you? Arsenal, football, yeah, 1-0. You know, no, but then there's the other English. When I met Jean, the first thing I liked about John was, well, he's French. You know, I've always loved, you know, like Jamaican football players, Jamaican sports stars, they always have a certain kind of arrogance about their abilities. And I've always loved that. And I always love that about the French as well, because when you have something, you really have it. You wear it with style, you carry it out. I like that. Do it or go home. Do it well or don't do it, go home. So, I was showing John what I was doing and he said, let me introduce you to my people, my boss and a few people. And I said to him, you know, after meeting him and meeting his boss and other people, I said, I think what you're doing is great. I don't think I can help though, because what you do is that and what I do is something different. But you know what? I think you're great. It's about time someone started to take health seriously. Because, let me tell you, it's rough out there. Too many young people are dropping dead. I am seeing too many people that I know who are younger than me dying or in serious disrepair. Wellness is no longer something that, oh, well, I'll get round to it. Wellness is a big thing today. And people need to know that wellness is what is going to keep you, well, it's going to keep you going. Wellness doesn't just start in what you eat. Wellness is how you think. Wellness is how you communicate. Wellness is how you love. Love healthy, live healthy. Love unhealthy, oh, live bad. Let's not talk about that. I'll get back to that subject. I'm happily married now and I have a beautiful son. And that's called loving healthy. So there's a prime example of that. If you can see that, I mean, the lights are kind of bright, but that was lullaby. And from the tongue, you could see where the tongue was going. And then N. N, the position forming there, then. Now the point behind this, I don't want to take this too long. And I don't want to go around it any much longer. But the point is the power of knowing your mouth is the basis of clear speech. Clear speech improves your listening. Clear speech improves your sentence structure, your pragmatic speech, which means that how you speak naturally. The better you say things, the better you hear it. The better you hear it, the better you relearn to say things properly. That's why pronunciation is so important. It's not something you do after you've learned English. Pronunciation shapes the way that you will talk to people. It shapes the way you will make business. It will shape the way you communicate with other people. And it will shape the way that you live well. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you very much, and to continue on the communication, I invite everyone to have some French wine
I'm
and
on the
continue
front.
on the discussion.
I can discuss.
Thank you
from
so
the wine.
much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us.